Hi, my name is Sohmer Davis. I graduated from Eastern Kentucky University with a exercise sports science degree and a concentration in pre-physical therapy, and I'm currently getting my doctorate in physical therapy.
Like, what inspired you to pursue like the physical therapy, like after track, or was it something that you already had planned anyway?
I had it planned. I originally came into college thinking I was going to do athletic training. I did like a athletic training internship at my high school and I loved it. And so I came thinking I was going to do that. And then my sophomore year, I got injured and I ended up in physical therapy for my back. And when that happened, I was like talking to my physical therapist and he was just like giving me advice. And at this point, they were ending the athletic training program at Eastern Kentucky. And when they were doing that, I was like, didn't really know what I was going to do because I would have had to go elsewhere if I wanted to do athletic training. So I decided that I was going to switch to pre-physical therapy. And that's when I decided to do that because I like talked with my physical therapist and like seeing what he was doing was like more of what I wanted to do rather than the athletic training side of it.
So like mentally, like what, how would you say the transition was like not being a full time track athlete all the way to being now you're a full time student going through to get your doctorate? Yeah, there we go. Finally, hey, I said it
I'd
right
say
this time too.
Yeah, he did. I'd say it was kind of hard. I knew like mentally I was ready to leave track. I definitely was ready for that like my junior year, but I stuck it out because I was almost done. But I knew that I was ready to like move on. But when I got to Maryland because I moved. When I got to Maryland and started my program here, I like had like a mental battle where I like didn't want to work out at all. And so I didn't work out for like 3 months. And it was like really weird. And I remember talking to my professors and I wasn't doing so well in school when I first got here just because it was like a weird transition. I was meeting new people, 70 new people that I didn't know. And I was like trying to find friends, trying to figure out like what was gonna work for me because I'm used to having teammates that were like built-in friends and now I had to make new friends and all that. So I kind of struggled in the beginning, but I think like after talking with my professors, they were like, you can't cut out like what you used to do, like running and like working out. And so my one professor, she like prompted me like go work out after class and like tell me how you feel the next day. And so finally I like went and worked out downstairs, which was like it literally my gym is downstairs. But I went and worked out and I felt like 10 times better. My like headspace was better. And so I finally had to like rebuild my relationship with like lifting and running. I still haven't got back into running yet, but I like occasionally do like different type of conditioning and like I've picked up like Pilates and stuff. So yeah.
I suggest I suggest you keep running. I suggest that, and it's like me being slightly funny, but me being for real though, for real, because I think more so if you kind of go back to being an athlete a little bit, you might find a spark. Now, I didn't say
Mhm.
go work out to PR or you feel me to do something like that. No, 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 no. But like, why not? Like, all right, let's just say like in high school. For me, the last time I ran track, something I hated was hump day, 8 200s. I've never in my life felt, I've never felt like the tightness from my hamstring all the way to my glute. Like it felt like I can't walk. I don't want to walk. I never felt that before. Cause football, you're not gonna feel that. Like you're gonna get the hurting somewhere else before you get the feeling like that, unless you pull your hamstring or something like that. So what I'm
Yeah.
getting at is if you get back in the mode of it, you might find a little get up, just a little bit, just a little bit. And even if you run on a treadmill, you feel me? You run on a treadmill, you ain't gotta go to the track.
Have like I definitely have run on the treadmill. It's just not my thing. I don't like running on the treadmill because it feels like I'm going nowhere. But I know that I'm definitely not gonna like run on a track, but I do want to like go start doing long runs again because I've always liked long runs. I was a sprinter, so I just never did them often. But for conditioning, like I enjoyed long runs, like I couldn't run more than like 3 miles, but I do want to get back into that. It's just hard because I live in the city, so like I would have to like run and like stop and like keep starting and going, so that's like annoying, but there's definitely like run clubs here that I've heard of, so I'll probably like possibly join one this summer when it gets warmer again. And then like if I don't do that, then I'll just like go to a park. But I do have a classmate also who used to run track um at a different school, so we probably will start running together too.
Well, at least you got somebody that you can relate to. Is that somebody that you be with all the time, or is that just somebody that you refer to as a good friend? since you
No,
moved?
I'm like with her like all the time. She's definitely like became like my person here, like one of my best friends now. She used to run track at University of Massachusetts, and when we came here, like we like met each other through Facebook. And we both noticed that we both ran track, and so like the first day we kind of like gravitated towards each other. So it was nice that like I had somebody who like understood like what we were going through, and we both had just graduated and moved to Maryland for this. So it was like nice to have somebody who like understood like what I was going through like mentally as well as like physically. So like we both took the 3 months off from ending track in May, and then we started working out together. So like we work out together when we do work out, and like we go to Pilates together, and we pretty much hang out and study like every day together.
So, what would you say would be like the biggest mental hurdle that you had to face with the transition? But like, what got you over it? So was it like your athletic mental part, I guess? So like used to being, you know what I'm saying, through something that you're not wanting to go through, but you know how to get through it. You feel me? Or was it just something that you had to learn how to get through over time?
Um, I think my mental battle was mostly like my identity. Like, my essay that I wrote to get into this program is about my identity crisis that I, like, went through my entire, like, undergrad. When I was hurt a lot, I just, like, always never felt like I feel like I didn't know who I was, like, when I wasn't running because I've been running since I was 8 years old, so it's like I never knew who I was outside of running, and it, like, got lost in translation, so whenever I was injured and I wasn't, like, traveling with my team, like, I always just felt like I didn't know who I was or like what I was supposed to be doing. And so like I said, I was ready to move on from track, but I think I struggled with like the mental aspect of like understanding that I was finally done and like that I was somewhere else and in this whole new like space and like I wasn't an athlete anymore. Like I couldn't just introduce myself and say like, "Oh yeah, like I'm an athlete." Da 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 da. Like I had to make a new identity and I was just like, "Oh yeah, like I'm a former athlete like now." And so it was weird saying that and like I definitely struggled like with saying that because that like saying I'm an athlete is like a conversation starter. But I think like for me, what I struggled with most was like when I came here was like not really my athlete side, but I had imposter syndrome. And it was like I never felt like I belonged here. Like being in a doctorate program, it's like hard because it's rigorous and like the coursework's really hard, the load's really hard, and like you have all these like smart people around you. So like I compare myself a lot and I did that in track and it just like took on a new form now. Like it's not like a physical aspect, it's more of a mental aspect for me now. And it's like much harder than like the physical portion of track of like comparing myself to other athletes. But like the mental aspect that I struggled with was like not comparing myself to my classmates and like saying I wasn't studying enough and like I wasn't doing this enough. Like that took a really long time and like it made me struggle with like my grades. Like when I first got here, like I've never failed anything before, like ever in my life. And like when I got here, I like literally was failing and I was really scared that like I wasn't gonna make it in the program. And I don't really talk about that a lot with people, like only my family know. But I struggled like a lot. Like when I first got here, I like literally thought I was gonna fail out of the program, but I didn't. I had a professor who like literally told me, he was like, you know what you're doing, you just second guess yourself. And I always do that. It's just like what I do. I don't know how to explain it. I just always second guess myself. But I had a professor and he just kept telling me like over and over, like, you belong here. Like we wouldn't have brought you here if we didn't think that you belong here. So that's what I think I struggled with the most, just like feeling like I belong here. And I think I'm finally at a point now where like I'm a year in and I'm finally a second year that like finally feel like I'm like living in my purpose and like I had to like re revamp my relationship with God because like I strayed away for a really long time. And so like with that, I had to like talk with like our academic specialist and like figure out how like I could like help myself to like pull myself out of the hole that I was in, like the imposter syndrome, because like it was like drowning me. And like I literally cried before every exam, every practical that I had. Like I literally would cry in the car on the way there and then I would go and I would fail and then I would cry again. And it was just like a cycle for a while. And then finally like I started like passing and I've been passing since, but it was just really hard. My first semester was like terrible. Like I thought I was gonna fail out.
No, man, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I didn't know you was going to, and I was literally with you. Like,
Yeah,
but
I don't talk about that.
I think that's something that it's kind of good, you know what I'm saying, to have these talks. Even though we talk anyway, it don't even matter. But I'm saying like to have a talk like this, cause see, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that. And see, you a soldier. You a soldier. And see, now I'm gonna give you your flowers. Cause see, I ain't know all that. You always
Yeah.
smiling, like Joe. That's what I told Joe. Like Joe, you never know, bro. He's always smiling. Like, and
Right.
it's crazy because I've seen that man get cussed out, and you can tell it, like he noticed what's going on, but it's like physically, bro. It looks like he just looks like, and you just look at him like, bro, did you not just hear what he just said? Like bro, you know, whatever. But you feel me? But I'm glad to, you know what I'm saying. I'm glad that you are close to the ending step. Yeah, December what?
2026.
So you got a year and a half, basically. All right. So, what advice would you give to other former athletes who feel lost or unsure about life after sports?
Um, that's tough. I feel like if you're religious, like lean into that. I think like I got here, like I went through so much in my like undergrad with like track and just like mentally, I like strayed away from like my religion and God himself. Like I didn't really go to him a lot. And I feel like when I got here and I met my friend, she was like so strong in her faith and she bought me a Bible. And I think that was the turning point for me when I got my Bible. She bought it for my birthday. And I like once I like started like reading the Bible again, like I feel like my whole demeanor changed and I just felt lighter, like because I could talk to him again. But I just felt like when I was at EKU, like I didn't feel like I was deserving and I didn't feel like I could go to him. So like if you're religious, like lean on that and lean on the people around you that are religious and like have them help and uplift you. Like even if you're like confused and just like don't know what you're doing, just like constantly talk to people. Like my family, my friends, like I have like the best friends literally. They're like always constantly like uplifting me even when I feel like I don't even know what I'm doing. So I feel like that's like my first piece of advice. And then like my other advice is just like staying true to like your plan. Like I could have very easily like changed my degree in undergrad. I like had a rough semester. I think this was like my junior semester. I was just going through a lot and I I had like such a rough year and I like think I failed a class. It was I failed like a biology class and I like have never in my life like failed anything and it was so hard on me and like I had like almost had to like change my whole entire like graduation plan and I was like no it's not happening not at all. So I took summer classes all of that like I could have very like easily like not applied to PT school and just waited the whole entire year after and just like worked over the summer but like I literally was like I don't care like what happens like I'm gonna still apply and I'm still gonna hope for the best and um my even my advisor was like, are you sure like what's gonna happen? Like if you don't get in, like maybe we should just apply the next cycle. And I was like, no. I was like, if I don't apply now, then I'm not going. And so I applied to like probably like 14 schools. And um I also got into a car accident like literally this some like 3 weeks before graduation. And like I like could barely write, could barely type, could barely move my arm, like anything. And I almost couldn't do like any of my work. I had to like voice text everything. So like I had essays and assignments and I literally had to like voice speech all of them. Like 10-page paper, I had to literally word vomit through a microphone to type my essay. And like that was hard. Like I was like almost like I don't even know if I want to like go to school anymore and like I was like am I even going to graduate because I can't even do my work. And I had like my professors were so amazing and so sweet and they like extended deadlines for me and stuff like that. And I think like I've just been through so much like adversity like in my undergrad that like I very well could have like strayed from like my path, especially like coming to like PT school and like moving. Like I was super scared of moving from Kentucky, which is like my home and like my safe space. And like granted, like I'm from the DMV, so like it wasn't like I was going away from home again. Like I was going closer to home. That's why I chose the school. But I still was scared of just leaving like my comfort. And like I finally was just like at a point where like I finally got like everything together. I finished like all my assignments. I graduated and like I chose I was gonna come here and like everything worked out how it was supposed to. Like I had like obviously things like hurdles thrown in the way, but like I could have deterred from the path, but I didn't. And I think that like that's the most important thing is that like so many obstacles are gonna come. Like it's just life and like you kind of have to like take them on the chin and just keep going. And my advice is just literally sticking true to your plan. Like I had a plan and I knew that no matter what, like even if I didn't get in, like I was gonna reapply and just like do whatever I could to like get to where I needed to be. So yeah.
Relate to that car wreck, bro. And
Yeah.
then after you get out of it, it's like it's hard to even do stuff. Like stuff that you would do on an everyday basis is like the hardest thing ever. Like and it's like
Mhm.
why? And it's like the timing of it's horrible. Like I had just got it's football just ended for me probably like what I think it was like 4 months ago. Like I think yeah. And I already had a coaching job, which like every day I was going up there helping around, coaching with the football team. You know what I'm saying? And the moment it got to the point to where I started feeling like, man, now that's really what I want to do. Boom, car totaled. I'm in the hospital, bleeding on the inside. I can't even. It was hard to use the bathroom standing up. Like I was leaning on the wall, like leaning on the wall, and I'm still attached to the bed. At that, that's another thing. Like I can't even fully go to the bathroom. Like I don't know. Those moments are also the moments where I found myself thinking the most of like, all right, what's next? And it ain't what's next because I got a plan. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, nah, like, what's next though? Because the circumstances have changed bad. Like, I don't have a car now. So how I'm gonna get there? Not only that, even when I get there, what the hell am I gonna be able to do? I can't do nothing. Like I'm in pain. Like I can't do nothing. So it's like then you start. Well, me personally, I took myself down the road of like, all right, I just start doing stuff, bro. Like I'm just gonna fully admit it. Like I just start doing stuff, like, cause I'm like, all right, okay, I don't have a car. Cool. I'm not about to sit here and keep announcing what I don't have. Like I think that's already there. Cool. Okay, but what I do have is like I have my PC and all that. So I'm like, all right, how can this make me some bread? Because that's really all you think about. Like I think like once you get out of being in sports, like for real, you really just think about like what can give me $1 right quick. Like you know what I'm saying? Like nah, I do want to do something, but damn, in order to do that, I gotta get some money or borderline like in order to do that, I gotta get some money. You know what I'm saying? Either way it goes, don't go to money. But yeah, nah, I can relate to you with that one. Man, I'm glad that you stuck to the plan because I personally did not know that you did all that. I didn't know all that was going on. You know, and you know you.
Yeah, it was weird. Like I randomly was just like driving back to campus. I had like practice. I went and got food off campus and I got into a car wreck and I like was in so much adrenaline. Like I thought I was fine. One of my teammates came and got me and like I came and sat in the training room. Like I knew I wasn't gonna practice that day, but I like went and sat in the training room and I was like talking and I was just like just got done like bawling my eyes out because my car was like terrible. It wasn't totaled, but it was awful. And sitting in the training room and I just like increasingly like my body started to hurt so bad. And as I was sitting there, my trainer was like, she was like, no, you're gonna need to go to the hospital. And I was like, okay. So they took me over to the hospital and as I like literally sat in the hospital, like the waiting room, and then when I got moved to the room, like my body literally started to shut down. Like I couldn't move my neck, I couldn't move my shoulder, I couldn't write like to sign anything like when I was about to leave. Like I could not move my whole right side, like my hand, everything was just like stiff as a board. And the guy was like, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. He was like, it's gonna get really bad. And I was like, underestimated it. I was in so much pain. Like I have never felt like that ever in my life. And like, I had a meet that weekend, didn't get to go, obviously. I had another meet the next weekend. My parents came up. They like stayed with me because I couldn't do my hair. I could barely dress myself. I had to like throw big hoodies on, like big sweatshirts, everything. I could barely put socks on. They had to buy me a brace for my wrist. Um, They almost gave me a sling for my shoulder because I could barely move my arm. Like it hurt so bad. And I ended up starting physical therapy there because everything was just so bad. And then I had my senior night and I didn't get to run, obviously. And then my family was there to support me though, which was great because I needed them. And then week after that, we had like a week off and then we had conference. And my coaches, they brought me in the office and they were like, you know, with everything going on, like it's up to you if you want to run, but like we know you're in a lot of pain. I hadn't practiced at this point at all, but they were like, we're still gonna bring you regardless because it's your senior year. Like we care about you. Like we want you to be there with the team. And I was like super grateful for that because it was my last like time traveling with my teammates and everything. So they brought me and they were like really actually low key like wanted me to run. And I was like, guys, I was like, I cannot run. Like I did not, I hadn't moved my arm like probably in like 3, 4 weeks. And I had like graduation the day before we flew out and I think I like went to practice. I like did drills and that was it because they shut me down after that. All I did was like drills to like warm up and I like barely moved my arm because it hurt so bad. And then we flew out the next day after graduation. And my parents still bought tickets to come out there. God bless them. They're so sweet. Um they bought tickets to still come support me even if I didn't run, even if I ran like shit, like whatever, they still came. And we were in Arkansas. And I went out there and like my coaches were like, like it's not gonna end how you want it to, but like just give it a try. So I got pulled from like the 4x4 and everything because that wasn't gonna happen. And then I got pulled from the 400, my individual for that, and they were just like, let's just try the two. And so I like when we first got there, like we had the hotel and we were practicing outside the hotel and I was like barely able to move my arm, but I still like was like jogging with the team and then we went to the track later that day to do like block starts and stuff before the meet the next day. And I remember I only got to do one block start because my coach was like, that's it. Like, you're not gonna like withstand anything more than that. So I got to do one block start before I ran the next day. And so I went out there and my coach was like, we're just gonna hope that like nothing happens with the gun going off wrong, somebody false starting, whatever. So like I line up my shoulder's all taped up, like super stiff. My barely could like move my wrist. So like I had to take my brace off, everything. And like when I put my wrist down there, I was like, this is so painful. And like the gun goes off and they call us back. So I had to go back and I had to get back down there again to do it again. And my coaches, like everybody, like I looked up and they were all like shaking their head because like they knew it was gonna be bad. And so like I like everybody says that like they could see me like shaking because like my like I could barely hold my body weight at that time. Like it was so hard to like do anything with my whole right side. And they like did it. I like ran terribly, obviously. Nobody expected me to do amazing, but I mean, like I ended my season. I still tried, so like I was grateful that I got the opportunity, but it didn't end how I wanted it. But like as I said, like I was ready to move on. Like it wasn't like I was like super super upset. Like I was okay with how my chapter ended with track because I mean my entire college career was like ups and downs with like injuries and stuff. So like it was what it was. But I mean, it was a good experience. Like I had the best time with my team and like cheering them on. Like that was like the one time I actually got to like cheer all my teammates on and see all of their different events going on. So it was nice. But yeah, the car accident was rough. I barely could like move my neck. So like every time I moved, I like moved it like a robot. It was so funny. But yeah,
You told me that was so funny. Nah, that shit was annoying. That shit was
yeah,
annoying. Every time somebody said my name, I'm like, what up?
literally.
Like, what, bro? But it was having you on episode 5, and I loved your answers. I found out some things about you that I did not know. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to say that I congratulate you and I'm proud of you for fighting mental battles, physical battles, and emotional battles.
Thank you. Thank you.
But y'all ass, like, comment, subscribe. All three of them free. You understand me? All three of them free. And it only take one to about 3 seconds, depending on how, a little off you is when it comes to technology. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're feeling good, share it. That's 4 things. You understand me? 4 like Wendy's, but you ain't even got to pay $4. You understand me? A subscribe's free, a like's free, and a comment's free. And the sharing just, that's just a little bit, sharing's caring. So, yeah. All right, buddy? But, yeah. Peace out.